Hello, and welcome to Animal Chiropractic Clinic Chatter, a podcast where Dr. O from All Creatures Every Spine interviews doctors and animal owners that utilize animal chiropractic to get their unique perspectives. Yes, it's really a thing. Dr. O utilizes his 30 years of experience as both an animal chiropractor and veterinarian, and to dig deep into the discussion of complex issues affecting the lives of your animal friends and companions. Join us for this educational episode. Thanks for joining us for this portion of the episode as Dr. O begins to answer the question, what is animal chiropractic? He will look at how the chiropractic adjustment is a valuable and viable treatment for what ails your animals.
Animal chiropractic and the list. How are we going to compare animal chiropractic to a grocery list? Well, I like to think about it. If I'm at the grocery store and I call my wife and I said, hey, do you need anything special from the grocery store? And she says, yes, get me these 5 things. Now, if my cell signal is awesome and I have 5 bars, there's a pretty good chance I can get exactly what she needs. However, there's still misinterpretation all the time. You know, get a couple of. How many is a couple? 2, 4, I don't know. You know, get a bunch of. All right. So misinterpretation. We want to get rid of those misinterpretations. So I ask questions. Like I said, if I have 5 bars on my cell phone and she has 5 bars on her cell phone, we can get rid of those misinterpretations. But if I have 1 bar, what are the chances of me getting the right things from the grocery store? Almost 0. And that's the communication between your animal's brain and his feet, his organs. What are the chances that his kidneys are going to filter stuff correctly if he can't get proper feedback from the brain? What are the chances the brain's going to know exactly where those feet are if your animal stumbles going over a jump or coming down a hill with you on their back? What are the chances that the correction will be appropriate and that we won't fall on our face? You know, if we only have 1 or 2 bars, not very good. But if, as an animal chiropractor, I can go in and remove all the interference from your animal's nervous system so that the communication between the brain and the rest of his body, his feet, his kidneys, everything is working at optimal levels, then that stumble just becomes a stumble in the road of life. It doesn't become a spill down the hill where I end up, underneath the horse, damaged and having some issues. So as an animal chiropractor, what my job is to do is to restore communication between your animal's brain and the rest of his body. I don't heal anything. Your animal does all the healing. I just restore optimal communication. That's my job. So one of the things that we see with animal chiropractic, unfortunately, is that it's a lot of energy to get going. And we see your dog maybe 3 times a week. We give it some homework. You do a great job. And we just get to the point where we're almost going to level off, just like taking off with an airplane. And you quit. So it'd be like your airplane coming back down. And then it takes off again. And then it comes down. Touch and go landings. You never would get to that cruising altitude of where things are easy and smooth. And we see that a lot when people take their pets out of chiropractic care early. They don't get into the maintenance role of animal chiropractic. And so it becomes a real issue for some of these animals because they never get to cruising altitude where things are easy. So keep following your animal chiropractor's instructions. Do the homework. It's going to be more intense at first, and anytime there's a relapse, maybe it's because we've changed something. So talk to your animal chiropractor, see what's different, and get to that cruising altitude where your pet is able to maintain optimal health all the time.
Make sure to visit our website, allcreatureseveryspine.com, where you can subscribe to the show and learn more about getting your animals adjusted. If you are in the Meridian, Texas area, drop in on a Tuesday afternoon to get your animals adjusted. If that isn't possible, schedule a consultation on your animal's health with Dr. O. You can also purchase a copy of Dr. O's book. Yes, it's really a thing.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. For me, my hero is Frank, my best friend. But even the greatest heroes need help sometimes. Frank and I were at the park the other day when he started limping and favoring his left leg. I didn't see what happened, but I could tell something was wrong. So we went to see Frank's favorite vet, Yvette. Yvette the vet. After running some tests, she determined that Frank had torn his ACL. His best option was surgery. But unfortunately for me, surgery wasn't an option. So what could I possibly do to be a hero to my hurting hero? That was when Yvette told us about hero braces. She took a quick cast of his leg and said this mold would be used to create a biomechanically designed stifle brace, custom made just for Frank, allowing his body's natural healing processes to take over and stabilize the knee. About 2 weeks later, she fitted the brace and gave us the green light to walk, hike, and snuggle, and do all the activities that Frank and I were used to doing. It was that simple. Hero braces are lightweight, don't stretch or tear, and are durably designed to last the life of your dog. So Frank can get back to being Frank. Like I said, heroes come in all shapes and sizes. And lucky for us, so do hero braces.
Hello everyone, and welcome to barfworld.com. If you're seeing this video, it typically means you're interested in trying our 90-day challenge. If your pet is suffering from allergies, kidney issues, obesity, diabetes, or even cancer, our food can help with that. So if you're ready to see your pet's health dramatically improve in just 90 days, call us and schedule your consultation today. Hope to talk to you guys soon.
What is going on, everyone? My name is Stan Smith. I'm the CEO of X-Dog and the inventor of the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest. What is the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest? In a nutshell, it is the world's greatest harness for dogs. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're looking to build muscle, combat obesity, address anxiety issues, high energy, you want to suppress that energy level. If you just want to take the average walk and turning into a health improving workout, we made it so convenient to exercise your dog that you literally only need about 30 seconds a day. It doesn't matter if you're doing basic obedience training or compete at high level dog sports or in protection sports. The X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest can enhance it and take any type of daily lifestyle to the next level. If you want to be part of our mission of eliminating canine obesity or just being a part of our team, make sure you go to teamxdog.com. As always, man, I want to thank you for your time and your support, and Team X-Dog strong.
Join us as Dr. O interviews a certified chiropractor, veterinarian, or an animal owner. These enthusiastic people explain how they utilize animal chiropractic to alter the lives of the animals in their communities.
Well, welcome to another episode of the Pet Care Report. My name's Alora and I'm here with Dr. O, and I'm so excited to have you on the episode today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, it's very exciting. Now, for those listeners that don't know about you, I'm just going to introduce you quickly. So you were originally aspiring to be a bovine exclusive vet, and you found your true calling in animal chiropractic after owning several animal practices, realizing a deeper care for family health He used his expertise in chiropractic to help both animals and his own family. And Dr. O has been instrumental in building and growing multiple animal chiropractic programs, finding innovative ways to educate fellow practitioners and assist more animals. Additionally, Dr. Bill Ormston is a well-known published author reflecting his dedication to share knowledge to the field. How's that? It's a lot.
Sounds good.
Good.
All right.
Good. Wow.
Basically, we get up in the morning and we work on animals and we write some stuff and talk to a few people, and that's what we do.
I love it. And making a real difference in people's lives. And I think this topic is going to affect every pet owner, whether they've got puppies or an older dog. It really applies to everybody. And we are talking about a chiropractic lifestyle and how we can be aware and implement strategies with our own dogs. So can you explain to our listeners a bit more about a chiropractic lifestyle?
Yeah, I can. So first off, a chiropractic lifestyle is just three things. Chiropractic care, which doesn't treat anything. And that's where a lot of people get confused there. Well, my dog's not lame. My dog isn't, having issues. He's not sore, so he doesn't need to go see the chiropractor. But everything with the spine needs to have their spine checked. There's three things that cause problems in the spine: thoughts, traumas, toxins. Okay? And we know that in our practice, the puppies we check, 95% of the puppies that we see have a subluxation already. They have what we call an impairment or of mobility in their neck that's interfering with communication from the brain to the cord, through the spinal cord and to the organs of the body, which normally we worry about the feet, and that's, the dog can't walk, needs to go see a chiropractor. We're talking about every organ in the body, okay? And what happens is that if we leave those go, the body, because it is a self-healing organism, will learn to compensate and will learn to work with that impingement in the nervous system, but it won't be the best puppy that it could be.
Yeah, I understand. So I assume if they're getting quite a bit of interference from this nervous system, how then can chiropractic care help resolve that?
What chiropractors do is go with their hands. They will remove the vertebral subluxation by a very specific adjustment or a little impulse into the bone that's not moving correctly. Realign that, remove that interference from the nervous system, and allow the body to communicate better. It's kind of like when you have, if you're talking to me here and we're doing this podcast, and all of a sudden one of us goes from 100% signal down to 30. And instead of us, instead of my hand moving across the screen smoothly, you would see.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's kind of what interference in the nervous system is. Most people have talked to somebody on the cell phone, and they've been, I need you to get me.
Yeah, but then it cuts out.
these 10 items. Okay. And I know there's only 6.
Yeah, I understand.
So we're going to do that. And that's important to the dog, because if they're not getting the right nervous system, then we get all kinds of stuff. We get we start to get symptoms of the body not doing correctly, because diabetes is really just faulty feedback between the gut and the brain, and the pancreas. And what's happening is it's not all communicating right, and the brain doesn't know how much insulin to produce or when to produce insulin, and how, and so it messes everything up, and then we get a dog that's diabetic.
It's all connected, isn't it?
Yes.
I recall you mentioning that even a puppy that doesn't show signs or symptoms can have something lingering underneath. What do you think is a good routine to go see a chiropractor? Should it be a yearly thing? Or?
Well, it all depends. We like to start, and a lot of our breeders, in fact, just this last year, I had a lady bring a male and a female in. They were imported dogs, so, pretty nice dogs. And she was in heat, and he wasn't interested, and you're a dog breeder, and so what are you going to do, right? And so we adjusted him, and he got interested. I mean, like immediately in the office, and it was like, great. And but she was saying, nope, not having it. So I adjusted her. And then the lady was like, oh, okay, you think I'm going to get them home, and then we're going to see what happens, and let me pay you. And I said, well, we're going to sit here and talk for a while. And most of the litters of this particular breed are 4 to 5 puppies. Mm-hmm. And this particular litter was 9.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yep. From 2 dogs that were not interested 10 minutes before. And we ended up with 9 puppies.
Wow.
We adjusted them, and they're all doing great.
That's awesome.
But these dogs are also on a species-specific raw food diet.
Yes, and that I can imagine is so important. So what do you mean by species-specific?
Well, if you've got a cow, you're not going to feed them dog food. If cows eat hay, we're not going to feed our dogs hay. So we want to make sure, even a cat and a dog. I mean, I know in your job as a canine nutritionist, you probably have a few people call you and say, hey, what should I feed my cat? Mm-hmm. And it's close. It's close, but not the same.
Yep. I'm always getting, what should I feed my dog? And it's like, well, let me tell you.
Not what you eat, unless it's before you prepare it.
Yes. Yep. And it's so important. And I really think it affects the dog. Like if a dog's getting, high processed kibble all the time, they're really going to put on weight, which I'm sure is going to affect their bones and how they move.
It is, because kibble, Dr. Frick, who I know is a Pet Summit person, did a paper with kibble dog food, and I believe 94% of dogs on kibble dog food had low body calcium.
Yeah, right.
And calcium's not just bones, but calcium's like this super duper mineral that we need, because it nerve conduction, muscle contraction, and bones, hair, nice.
Yep.
Nice smooth hair, not that ouch. If you pet your dog and it hurts to pet your dog, could be vitamin and mineral problems in the diet.
Yep.
And so that's all part of a chiropractic lifestyle, is that, yes, the brain controls every organ, every function, every activity in the brain. And including, and the one that's really gets me, that I was like, whoa, it's been proven that the chiropractic adjustment alters white noise in the brain.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Yeah, and white noise in the brain is background information. Not background noise, but just processes that are going on back here all the time while we're talking. When's the last time you told your heart to beat?
Oh, I've got no idea.
Because it just goes on in the background, right? When's the last time you said breathe.
Just does it. It's amazing.
It does it. And your dog does it, and it all just happens. And if it's controlled, but if that feedback gets messed up, the feedback from the heart, well, the heart says, I'm pumping this much blood, and the brain says, well, you need more. And so then the heart has to beat faster, but it's not supposed to be beating faster. It was supposed to be beating slower, and it all got confused, and now you got a heart problem.
Yeah. Yep. Going back to the species appropriate diet, we know that overweight dogs is a huge epidemic within dogs. A lot are. Exercise. What kind of exercise is going to be good for our dogs?
Well, it all depends on your dog, but the best exercise is, and most overall exercise for every muscle in the body, is walking. Not running, not playing ball. It's just a nice steady walk, because it makes the dog use every muscle in their body. When they're running, dogs can bunny hop and use both legs together in the back end, and so they're really not using every muscle. When they, are playing tug or chasing a ball, maybe they're always turning to the right or always turning to the left. And so for most people, with their pet dogs, it's going to be just a good old walk.
Yeah, right. And is there particular exercises we can do with our dogs?
Oh, you bet. There's all kinds of them. Walking uphill is good. That makes them push. The hard part for a dog is if we have one leg that has had an issue, and it's not the same size as the other one, is to try to get those dogs to work evenly, those legs. Like I'd tell you to go to the gym and do, 25 curls with this arm and 5 with this one. And eventually we'd be getting them together. But that's hard to do for a dog. So dogs react 2 ways when we put something on their foot. The one is easy to help rehab and strengthen that poor leg. The other one takes a little bit more work. Put a piece of duct tape on the pad of your dog. Put it on the good leg.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
And the easy dog to rehab will go, so this is the foot with the duct tape, right? You put that pad down and you go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now all the weight is on the weaker leg that needs to be stronger. So we let him hop around like this for 5-10 minutes a couple times a day. We took him to the weight room, and that's how easy it is.
It just seems so simple. I really like that.
Then, if he doesn't care, then we have to put it on the bad leg, and we maybe put, I don't know what your coin is, but I'd use a quarter. Mm-hmm. Put a quarter in there.
Yep.
So it depends on where you are. I don't know
just
what
small
coins are equivalent, but yeah. Oh, not the tiniest coin you have, but a medium-sized coin. Put it on there, and that just adds a little weight to your dog.
Yeah. So exercises like, I know whenever I go down to the dog park, I see people playing fetch for an hour, and their dog is running back and forth. Is that any good for the dog's spine?
Well, yeah, it is, as long as it's in alignment. But if it's out of alignment, then a lot of times that's just getting it worse. Because if we don't have, I see a lot of dogs come in that are playing at the park, and they turned all of a sudden and have an injury. And they come in and they say, oh my gosh, it just happened. Well, the first thing we do is measure both legs. Okay? And there's 2 ways to make a leg get smaller. One is not use it, which obviously the dog was using it. He was just playing Frisbee. The other one is to have interference to the nerves going to that leg. So if And if you're not using it, it takes about 7 weeks to get a noticeable difference. If it's a nerve problem, it takes less than 7 days.
That is so fast.
Yes, it's huge. So when I see these dogs that just had this injury yesterday, and I measure these legs, and they're uneven already, it's been going on a while. And then, so that means that in order to get that leg better, even if it needs surgery, we have to do something to restore that nerve flow.
Just really shows the importance of pet parents just paying attention to their dogs and understanding them and picking up when something's wrong, doesn't it?
Right. And you can do it fairly easily. You know, a lot of dogs will be, you know, they'll come in, I'm talking to the pet parents, and I'll be watching the dog, you know, and somebody makes a noise over on that side. And the dog looks, and then somebody makes a noise over on this side. Which side of my neck doesn't move right?
That's nice.
It's just watching your pet move, you know. Does he do this and this or this and that, you know?
Yeah. So is there like preventative things we can do for our dogs? Because I know my dogs will jump up in the back of my car. Is that something I should be avoiding?
The jump up is probably good. And in fact, one of the things that we recommend with older dogs is a really simple thing you can do is elevate their front feet when they eat. Something you're going to do with your dog every day anyway. So put them, depending on the size of your dog, maybe 2 foot, maybe 4 foot. I have some German Shepherds that eat 2 foot, not 2 inches, but 2 foot off the ground with their front legs up there. Puts more weight on their back end because it utilizes gravity and helps strengthen some of these dogs that have.
That's really interesting. That's definitely something I'm going to go and try and implement with.
Jumping up is good. Be careful with the jumping down.
Right.
Dogs that jump for a living, about 2/3, a little over 2/3 of those dogs will have signs of whiplash because it's the same forces as we get in a car accident.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So help your dog jump down. It's not jump up, but agility dogs, a lot of those dogs, if they're not getting adjusted, they will have whiplash symptoms. Dogs that jump out of cages every day will have issues.
Yeah. And I assume it's also pretty breed specific as well. There's some, like, you can't compare a bigger dog to a smaller dog because they're going to do things a little bit different. Would that be right?
Well, somewhat, but if they're doing the same activities, they, you know, like Chihuahuas that run agility, they go over short jumps. And, you know, Bourgeois that do agility, they go over big jumps. So I have some racing dachshunds that come in.
Really?
They don't run as fast as the Whippets, but they still run fast.
Interesting. So then for pet parents, if they're going to go away with one tip that they can take away from our discussion, what would it be?
Pay attention to your dog and vary your exercise.
Okay.
So like cross training, you know, for people, you know, you don't just, it gets boring if you just run every day or if you just go to the weight room every day and so keep it interesting for your dog. So they're looking forward to their workout every day. And you know, if you compete with your dog, great, but do some other things too. Keep your dog well fed with of course, I recommend a raw food diet and a complete raw food diet, not just, I feed raw hamburger.
Or my leftovers from my salad or.
Yeah. Or just, you know, he eats a lot of vegetables because, that's what I was meaning by species specific. I don't believe that dogs are vegan. So we species specific and then keep them exercising. And the best way to exercise your dog is to do something that the two of you can do together. So you can enjoy each other.
Absolutely.
Because that's why we have a dog.
Yeah, that's great. That's really, really good. So our listeners, if they want to find out more about you, I know you've written a few books. Where can they find out some more info on you?
The best place is yeschiro.com. 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 You can find a book. You can, if you're a professional, a veterinarian or a chiropractor, you can find out how to come to school. And if you're a pet owner, we can either make an appointment, we do telephone consults, or we can also help you find an animal chiropractor close to you.
That's awesome. We'll definitely put those notes in the show notes so people can find it pretty easy. Well, Dr. O, thank you so much for your time. That's been a super interesting discussion, and I'm sure there's lots that pet parents will be able to take away and implement in their own lives.
All right. Thank you. I enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you. And for our listeners that are still here, they can follow along. You can like, you can subscribe, you can comment. If there's something you found interesting, please let us know. This helps us reach some more listeners. So thank you. We'll see you next episode.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
If you are or know a veterinarian or chiropractor, or a student of either of these professions, visit our website, Animal Chiropractic Education Source, to see how to become certified in animal chiropractic. Start improving the lives of the animals around you. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the ACES channels so that you never miss an exciting episode.